You guys have seen some of our 100-round workouts in the past. We posted the Venti 100, the 100-round warm-up about a year ago. Now we're going to show you guys how we've adapted that warm-up for our new sticky targets. We call this a 9-line warm-up. If you're going to warm yourself up for a longer day of training, or maybe you've only got 5-10 minutes where you want to go get a workout in, this is 100 rounds. It's easy to do, and we're going to show you a couple of changes that we've made for our new sticky target.
We're going to talk through this, but it would literally probably take us about 5 to 6 minutes to go through these 100 rounds, being as deliberate as possible.
So the first thing we're going to do, you notice we've got 12 1-inch circles on here. We're going to do a line work in the feel, the pins, friction, leverage on the grip. Next line, we're going to add the eyes. We're both going to be running dots today, so we're going to say target focused. Then we're going to talk ourselves through adding the finger, the 90-10 finish flat. Then we're going to move to the rhythm circle. That's 20 rounds. We're going to flow through all of those, but we're adding a new twist next, and we're going to do a clock rhythm, 13 rounds.
Which we'll talk through all these things as we get going here.
After we finish those 2 rhythms, we've got the 12 1-inch circles, and we're going to do 12 rounds, 1 in each circle in 12 seconds. We're going to give ourselves a little par time there. Then we're going to speed that up, do 12 rounds in 6 seconds. After that, we're going to do our DeLorean draw warm-up here on the head box, and then we're going to round out this 100-round workout or warm-up with a 25-round CET from 3 all the way back to 25. All right, so the first line, feel. Pins, friction, leverage. We want to be sure we're pinning our grip. As we extend the gun, we're going to build friction in, and then the last little bit of extension, you're going to feel the leverage building on the gun. Talking through it. Pins, friction, leverage. Pins, friction, leverage. Pins, friction, leverage. Pins, friction, leverage.
And making sure that we're following through, even though it's a focused drill on grip, 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 still follow through on all your stuff. Eyes are next. 4 more rounds on the eyes. We're going to stay target focused, meaning my plane of focus is on the target. It's not on the gun. It's not on the dot itself. And again, I got my dot equal contrast to the environment out here. And we're going to go, again, pins, friction, leverage. And I'm going to tell myself, hold the dot where I want it, which is slightly above the circle because of height over bore. Because if you see the side is the optic over the bore here. Pins, friction, leverage. Hold the dot throughout the press. Same thing on the next circle. Hold the dot throughout the press. Move over to the right side. Hold the dot throughout the press. Hold the dot throughout the press. And then follow through.
All right, so now finger. The big 3 is placement. Proper placement on the trigger, that's on you. Hinge points. We want to isolate 1 single hinge point, not 2. And then finishing flat after the shot. Think about that claymore mine, like your fingernail always facing the target before the press and after the press. Pins, friction, leverage, clear target, 9-10, finish flat.
And a good reset too. Don't come off the face of the trigger. Just start your process again. Finish
flat.
And then continue on down the line.
That was eyes.
All right, and then good clean follow through there. Next thing we're gonna do is a rhythm drill. So we got that rhythm circle of the left shoulder. And you can do it either direction, but we're gonna start on the left here today. Rhythm, why do we do rhythm? Really quick, neuro, brain, muscular, finger, timing. So I need to make my brain time those shots perfectly or excellent, right, as possible. And we're gonna do it with 20 total rounds. We're gonna run right through the whole thing. So we're gonna do 4 different cadences. One's gonna be 1,000 count. So that is 1,001, 1,002, and so on. And then we're gonna go right into the next counts with a and 1, and 2, and 3. Now my resets at that point are on the and. And that's the key to this entire thing, is resetting in the middle on every single cadence. Then we're gonna go right into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our faster cadence. And that'll be the rhythm drill. So I'm gonna go ahead and top off to make sure I've got 20 rounds in the gun. And I'm gonna go ahead and count it out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The objective is trying to keep them all in that circle as a good objective to have. If not, there's something fundamentally going on that you should probably fix first and then come back to the rhythm drill before you move on to the next thing.
Okay, so now we're still going to employ that cadence and rhythm, but we're going to throw a little twist in there. We're going to take that rhythm circle and move around it like a clock face. So it's 13 rounds. We're starting at 12 o'clock, working the clock face and finishing at 12 o'clock. Remember that third cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to try and employ that third cadence and be precise around the clock face.
Yeah, it's a little fun competition too you can have with your buddy, which we're going to test and see who's the most accurate on the clock. Also, one last thing to thought of is that height over bore is going to be unique as you go around 13 shots at 360 degrees. All right. Not bad, not bad. All right, so we're gonna top off, and now if you go back to the dots, we're gonna do 12 and 12 here. And so Jared's gonna grab the shot timer, so we're gonna run 12 rounds. That means you got 12 dots. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can go all the way across left to right and then drop down on the next line. You can come back right to left if you want. You can do it any way as long as you have 12 rounds in those dots. And since I've already shot with the original feel, eyes, and finger, they all have 1 round already in them. So my objective is to put a bullet in the bullet hole of each one of those that are already existing. And then we're gonna do it next in 12 and 6. We'll just take the shot timer, put 6 seconds on it, and now we're gonna speed through this thing super fast. And the objective again is to try to keep the bullet going through those holes. All right, you ready?
Yep, 12 seconds on the clock.
12 seconds on the clock.
Ready?
So this is starting from the relaxed position, just kind of right here where we call relaxed ready, not compressed ready, just be relaxed.
Stand by.
So right on the clock there at 12 seconds. So we're literally trying to take all the time, which gives us 1 second per round.
12:14. Now we're going to top off and we're going to take that to 6 seconds.
Just keep in mind, we're trying to be as precise as possible on that one. Now we're going to try to be as precise as possible, going as quickly as possible, because now we only have a half a second to fire each one of those 12 rounds. A little slow on the start there, but you get the point. So 12 rounds in 6 seconds. And again, I'm not just trying to put it in the white circle, I'm trying to actually put it in the bullet hole that I already had existing on all the other drills. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is the DeLorean drill. Now that we've warmed up our body, kind of grip, our eyes, our fingers kind of warmed up now, especially with the rhythm. We did a little bit of, I consider that eye tracking with the 12 and 12 and 12 and 6. And now let's go ahead and warm up the draw. So we're gonna put 5 seconds on the clock and we're gonna do a 5-second draw. So if you haven't seen this, it's gonna look weird at first, but you'll see where it ends up. So we're gonna do 6 shots here, one at a time. Here we go, 5 seconds on the clock.
Stand by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. Try to put it right between the eyes there. And we're gonna do the second one at 4 seconds. So you can see we're just gonna take a second off at a time here.
4 seconds. Stand by.
4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're gonna change the clock down to 3 seconds.
Stand by.
3, 2, 1, fire.
That was a little early.
We were a little fast on that one, so we'd want to slow the draw down. Again, the objective here is neuro connection. So if I am thinking consciously about time, 3, 2, 1, my body needs to be moving with that time, because that's this thing called the prefrontal cortex and the motor cortex working together to create the neural pathway, so your draw is smooth every single time. If you mess those two up, it's going to take you longer to get that neural pathway down. All right, so now we're at
2 seconds.
2 seconds. 2 seconds on the clock. This is a lot of time. Watch how slow we're actually still drawing.
Stand by.
2, 1, fire. All right, now we're going to go down to 1.5 seconds. We're not going to take a whole second off yet. So 1.5 seconds. So this is going to be a long one.
1.5. Stand by.
1, fire. You can see we're not jerking the gun. We're not over-exaggerating tension or using too much tension, or what some people might call a perceived level of exertion. It's not that. It's just controlling the amount of tension that I need at this speed. Okay, and then 1 second on the clock.
1 second. Stand by.
1, fire.
That was a little early. 105.
So 105
shot
on that. And we would keep doing that. If you wanted to do that over and over and over, you can, but we're sticking to that 100-round workout now. So that's it. So we got it all warmed up now. Feel, eyes, finger, 2 rhythm drills, the DeLorean drill, the speed, eye tracking drills, and now we're going to test ourselves at distance. Now that our draw is on point, we're going to keep drawing at that fast speed all the way back to 25. Okay.
All right, so we're starting at 3 yards and our par time is 2 seconds. So every time this shot timer goes off through this process, we're going to deliver 5 rounds. Our par time will go up as we move back.
You're going to be drawing as quickly as you can. Now you can probably say here, wait, you're going to draw and fire 5 rounds in 2 seconds. Some people call that advanced application standards. It's just our standard. Okay.
All right, here we go. Stand by.
Now keep in mind, you have the entire 12-inch zone. So I'm not just trying to keep it in the black circle, I'm going for the entire 12-inch zone. So maximum combat efficiency and effectiveness.
That was a 169. Now our par time stays at 2 seconds here at 5 yards. Here we go, stand by. That was a 184. Now we're going back to 10 yards. And we're going to 3 seconds.
Now we're going to start adding a second every yard line.
3 seconds. Stand by.
Okay, so you can see Jared, he ran it quick. I took all the time. And you can fluctuate that. I'm working a new trigger and new ammo today, so I'm trying to see where the impacts are going as well. And always stay on top of your ammo management.
15.
So we're at 15 yards now, 4 seconds on the clock. Now we're at 25 with 5 seconds on the clock.
5 seconds.
That's 1 second per round. That's a lot of time.
First shot was high right.
All right, so now we're going to go down and we're going to check it out and talk about it.
All right, that's number 2 at 20. So I scored mine on both the 8-inch ring and the 12-inch ring. I had 2 out on the 12, 8 out on the 8-inch ring. We're typically holding ourselves to an 8-inch ring. I was stepping on the throttle today. I was well under the par times here, but I was listening to the gun the whole time, diagnosing my performance. That was the first shot at 25. I saw that one break. These two are from my clock rhythm. That was number 2 at 20. I saw the gun, told me when that shot broke. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna get emotional about this because we're constantly diagnosing our performance.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is just a warm-up, right? We're about to go into a lot more training for the rest of the day here. And you can see how efficient that is and how much you can do on one simple little target. So guys, there's our 9-line drill, feel, eyes, finger, rhythm, speed, eye tracking, DeLorean CET, 100 round total workout. And hell, we could keep using this target if we needed to continue. So give it a shot, guys. Check out our website. Look at all the videos that we have on there. If you have any other questions on some of the CET stuff we talked about, because I know there's some big words in there, but understand them, know them, and know your gun and know your system. And that's why it's so important for us to work out. Just like if we went to the gym, him and I are going to do it completely different, as you just saw here. Guys, check it out. Thanks for joining us. I'm Travis Haley.
I'm Jared Segraves.
Stay sharp, be safe, and die free.